In this video, the Elos 200 gallon gets a deep cleaning because it really needs it. It needs maintenance. There's a lot of things that I haven't touched before. But before we get into that, we're gonna be hiding a small image of Casper, a little Easter egg somewhere in this video. So if you find it, send us a DM on Instagram with the time code. We'll send you a sweet swag pack straight to your door, no matter where you are on the planet. So let's jump in, starting with the return pump. So the other week, my Sicce app sent me an alert. It said, hey, you need to do some maintenance on your main return pump. Now, I gotten this alert before, but I thought, well, you know, these pumps are pretty sturdy and they go through a lot, and I don't really need to clean it right now. And the fact was, I opened it up and ran it under some water, took a look at everything inside, and yeah, it was gross and there was some junk in there, but it was nothing that would cause the pump to fail or to clog it. But it's just a good habit to give these things a cleaning once in a while. So I did that, put it all back together, put it on the tank and fired it right up. And I'm pretty sure because of this cleaning, it performed better. It's probably pushing out some more flow. So that kind of prompted me to say, hey, what else on the tank needs cleaning? And I looked at the sump and I was like, man, this thing needs an overhaul. So that's what sparked the idea for this video. So yeah, as I mentioned, the sump was looking pretty gross. Detritus and all this other stuff was on the bottom. And part of that is because I use filter floss on this tank, and I use 2 of them in these cups here, and I usually replace it twice a week, but sometimes I go a little bit longer, and a lot of times detritus makes it past the cup. So maybe I should switch back to socks, or maybe I should get a roller, because that way it would really catch everything. So as I looked at the sump, I was like, man, I really haven't wiped it down or given it a good cleaning. And the lids, I've cleaned the lids every once in a while, but they're pretty gross as well. So let me rinse these down. So I'm gonna take them over and rinse them and kind of stand them up to dry, go through each one of them and just make sure to get off all the solid creep. It's just really good practice that, once you're done with this kind of thing, it just makes you feel better because everything is clean, just kind of like washing your car. You just feel better about it. So really needed to do that. So this is part of the process. This protein skimmer has been really amazing. The other day I kind of ran it wet, so it didn't have a bunch of stuff in it. And sometimes I don't run it all the time. I don't run it 24/7 because sometimes it pulls out just too much. But one of my favorite things is this toothbrush. You're gonna see me using it a lot. So here I am, I'm gonna clean the lid, clean the collection cup, and that's something that I do weekly anyway. So it's time to disassemble the skimmer and just give it a really good clean. And I wanna take a look at the pump and see how that's doing, because it's good to clean out the pumps and make sure they're running at 100%. That way you're gonna get the most out of them. They're not gonna have any friction or resistance running. So just overall, it's good practice, and I'm pretty behind on that. But let's get to it. Taking it apart, just kind of using the toothbrush, giving a scrub down, getting at all the things that I left on there. There's little crustaceans and whatnot all over it, so we're gonna get rid of that. I'm not gonna totally clean all of it off, and I'm also making sure to check out the toothbrush, make sure nothing's stuck on there that could scratch the rest of the acrylic or the rest of the plastic or the pieces of the skimmer. All right, and so now we got to the pump and I'm disassembling that, and overall it looks pretty good. I mean, it is kind of gross. It does need a good cleaning, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna take apart the impeller and everything. We're just gonna give it a good rinse and a scrub, and later I'll put it all back together. All right, so since I'm down here in the sump, I'm noticing, hey, it's about time for me to fill up my RODI container from Reef. And I probably should have mentioned that this sump and RODI container here is by Reef, along with a drip tray. And this particular reservoir holds about 15.5 gallons. So I usually fill it up to 15, and it lasts a long time, depending on how often I run the skimmer. So going into the laundry room, I'm gonna make some more RODI water with the Aqua Effects filter that I got from my coworker. Shout out to Jimmy, thanks dude. So that's what I'm gonna do, and reason why is because I used a lot of it in the top off, but I'm gonna make water for a water change. Now it's really convenient, obviously working at Worldwide Corals, I could just go to the store and pick through the 3 or so salts that they have and just take 20 gallons home and do the water change. So that's really convenient. But sometimes I'm not at the shop or I'm just making RODI water and I'm like, well, let me just make the salt here. So I do about a 20-gallon water change a week. So that's about 10 cups of salt. So here we are, we're gonna make that. And I usually like to let it mix for 24 hours, but a lot of salts are already ready to use in less time than that. So before I do the water change, it's time to give the sump a thorough cleaning. Now you see all the detritus down there and stuff just everywhere all over the walls of the sump. And a piece of advice is try to attack it and clean these things a little bit at a time. So maybe every other water change or maybe once a month you get in there and you kind of scrape and clean the walls of the sump down, and just don't be like me and wait months and months and now you have to do this major cleaning. So I'm going to scrape everything down with this handle that has an acrylic safe kind of blade on it. So I have a pump and it has this really cool VCA kind of vacuum nozzle that goes on it, and that came in really handy because I could vacuum out all the gross stuff off the bottom and do our water change that way. So while I'm doing this, there's some things that I need to soak, like the power head, some pieces of the skimmer, the return nozzle of the tank. Just want to get all this stuff off of it, maybe some coralline off of it, maybe some algae, just clean it up, crustaceans, whatever is on there. And back in the day, because I'm an old reefer, I was told to use vinegar, and that's pretty much a no-no that everyone says don't do, because it can actually break down and get to the magnets inside some of these pumps, and that's something you don't want to happen. I'm going to use Sicce Pump Clean, and you could use a product like this or something similar to soak everything that you need to help you in that cleaning process. So we're gonna let that soak while I continue cleaning the sump, and then later I'm gonna scrub all that stuff and reinstall it. And that's it. I was able to vacuum out most of the stuff out of the sump and then do the water change and take the toothbrush and scrub down a lot of stuff that was soaking. I took it out of the pump clean and put it into some water and scrubbed it all down. Now I didn't get all the coralline off because I didn't soak it for that long, but you can soak it for longer to get everything off of it and for the stuff to look brand new. And just like that, it's done. The Elos tank is clean. Super easy, right? Yeah, I mean, it took all day. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed so we can make some really cool videos for you guys. And give this video a thumbs up if you learned something. Don't forget to drop a comment because we read them all. We'll do our best to respond to you, and we will see you guys on the next video.